path, but
There we go.
Right. So, are you caravan before or anything like that? Or? No.
We were campers.
Obviously a bit harder and warmer.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah. Right, gas locker, got your gas fitted.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you camped before, you may have used camping gas,
Yes.
perhaps. But this is the on-off. Is this? And you see, there's a little like tap at the top of the cylinder there.
Oh yeah.
So always turn that off for
Yeah.
travelling. Obviously, turn it on when you come to use it.
Yeah.
There is this little yellow lever there, but don't rely on that to shut your gas off. The only reason that's there for is for gas checking for the engineers.
Right.
But what you can do is switch that off. What I tend to do is switch that off if I'm changing cylinders to keep the pressure in the system.
Yeah.
And then you connect your gas, because otherwise you'll release the pressure
Yeah, a
by
little bit out
taking
there,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
So you could just shut that off for that, but
Okay.
otherwise it is turn it off
Yeah.
when you're not using it, as in travelling.
Yep.
Okay. Next fun bit we come to is the toilet. Toilet cassette. Right, what we've got here, we've got a bit of water in it, as we're going to be testing it. I'll go and empty that in a minute. Right, so it's got wheels and handle. So this is what is called a unisex toilet emptying device. So anybody can actually go and empty this. You'll get a few arguments over who is or who isn't. I've got any kids, obviously might not be a job for them, but so what you do, start from a compressor at the back of the shed, it shuts off. Right, so before you use this, George has given the two chemicals. You only need the one, which is the blue chemical. If you had a separate flush tank, then you would need the pink chemical. You don't need that. You still need the blue chemical. So you just put blue chemical, small amount in there, with about a pint of water. And then what that does then is obviously break down the nasty stuff before you empty it. So you need to put that in before you use it. To empty it, it's coming out of this hole here.
Yeah.
And you just press that and it releases the air to allow it to flow out. Okay?
Press one.
So
Oh, the button there.
yeah, so it's an air release. Okay, so obviously what you don't want to do is just tipping this down any drain. On site you may have seen a chemical emptying point, or you may have had one with a little portable toilet or whatever you may have had. So obviously that is emptied in there.
Yeah.
Okay, then obviously once you've done that, wash it out, then you can put a bit more blue chemical to use again.
Is that where you fill it up in there?
Yeah, so
Yep,
yeah, so
everything
through
out
there.
of
You can go via there as well if you wanted to, but you can just put it through there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to leave that out because I'm going to make sure that's empty and clean. Okay, so otherwise you just slide that back in. If it's not coming out easy, the likelihood is you've left the wastegate open on the toilet. So just push it back in, don't force it out, just push it back in, go inside, just check it has been closed correctly, then come back out and it should slide out easy.
Okay.
Alright. Here, all we've got, obviously you may have seen that when you were walking around, obviously escape hatch for the kids.
Yeah.
So obviously you got that pops up, obviously as a barrier, but obviously you can also use that as entrance to put bikes in if you wanted to, so that will lever up and you could get a good slot to put bikes in.
Yep.
Okay. So nothing around the back or much, apart from them
cameras.
two little cameras which are brilliant. You know, they make such a difference when you're reversing a vehicle like this. I don't know if you've driven a vehicle this size before or not, or?
Well, I've driven 7.5 ton
Oh, right, so
truck thing.
yeah,
But
so that should be.
That was good fun.
Yeah. So, you know, if you don't do it on a regular basis, then obviously this is
not a regular thing.
But that
yeah.
does help
No, that's why
hugely.
I wanted that.
Plus, it's got the camera which is viewing like a rear view mirror, and when you put it in reverse, it reverts to the one that looks straight down. Or more or less straight down. Okay. Going around this side, what you've got. So we talked about the Wastemaster before. This has actually got an onboard freshwater tank and an onboard wastewater tank.
Yep.
So the water that comes from the sinks in the shower will come into that wastewater tank.
Yeah.
And then you drain it via that.
Yeah.
When you go on site, I don't know if you, depending on which site you've been onto, you may have had a caravan motorhome service point.
I've read about it.
Yeah. So it's just somewhere where you drive up, you can fill your tank,
Yeah.
and at the same time you could be dropping the waste as well. Okay, so it's just grey water, you can drop that down at any drain. The reason why you may want to have a portable one is that obviously you can, instead of taking this off to go and drain it down, you can just put that underneath, drain it down, take it, and then the only thing is obviously you'd still have to go off and fill the water unless you had a tap on the pitch, which you might be looking at, and then you could top that up without having to take it on off.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Is that just a simple?
It's just a turning tap, yeah, so it's closed. Closed where you obviously make sure you drain down before you're travelling. This side, this is where you, obviously it says water, put your water in. Okay, so you may, I'm not sure on the kit, I didn't actually see it because he's put it all up there, I haven't actually seen, there should be a hose pipe, so you should be able to,
there's going to be a hose pipe in there somewhere. So.
and next thing we come to is your, this is your, obviously not the vehicle battery, this is a leisure battery, if you read a bit about that.
Yeah.
The vehicle will operate, as in the caravan side of it, without 240, you have got a limited amount of power in that battery, so it's not going to last for weeks.
Yeah.
A few days, depending on how you use it. But individual things have a 12-volt system in it. So even though we plug to 240, them things will still operate via 12 volts coming through the charger system.
Right.
So it won't drain your battery when you've got 240 connected, as long as you switch the charger on. Okay, then what we've got here, that's your vent for your boiler.
Yeah.
I've taken the cover off at the moment because I've got it fired up. So normally when you're travelling that is on.
Yeah.
But obviously if you want to use the gas boiler, or use the boiler on gas I should say, you take it off. If you're operating on electric, you don't need to take that off.
Right.
If you forget, all it will do is shut the gas down. It won't try and...
Right, okay.
It may initially try to operate, but then it'll shut down.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, happy with everything on the outside?
Yep. Think so.
Ish? Yeah, so it's not nothing too...
No, nothing too drastic.
nothing too, nothing too clever. Right. One thing I'll just obviously say here is a little switch for your step.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you imagine you've stopped at the lay-by, normally most people will come out into the cab
Yeah.
and not come out through the doors, then come in through there. Obviously, if you part of the same, yeah, you think, oh, I'm going to go out this way for a walk. Just make sure that's down. Otherwise, it's nose first into the hedge or whatever. I'll say, so just be careful that. Make sure that is out.
Yeah.
Obviously, the other thing obviously is when you're driving off, make sure that's in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. You'd like to go inside?
Thank you.
Right. So the first thing we come to when we come into the van, obviously when you come first to operate, apart from George making a lot of noise, where's the door gone? Right, so when you come into the van, first thing you need to switch on is your power.
Right.
So that's your 12 volt systems control panel. Now this control panel's asleep at the moment, obviously you can hear things are operating, you've got lights on, so everything is on at the moment, it's just this control panel's gone to sleep. I can press any button just to light it back up again.
Right.
So I've just pressed view levels. So normally, when you come into your van, you press power button. I'll go to sleep in a minute. He says, there we go. So power's on, so that's 12 volt systems off. Obviously when you're not using your van, when you're going home. So when you get to your van, when you obviously want to start it up, power on. You can hear the fan running because that's switched on, that's running on 12 volts. So you've also got cabin lights. You see that?
Okay.
View levels, so that will show me the levels of your vehicle battery, your leisure battery, which is that one outside there. Also how full or empty your wastewater is and how full or empty your freshwater tank is. Okay, what I can see from here at the moment, this is lit at the front of the vehicle. That means I'm actually operating 12 volts from the vehicle battery, or I can be charging the vehicle battery. Okay, so really I want to be on that one. If I press that, it should be there, that light at the back.
Yeah.
Rather than
flat battery.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not operating on 240 and you've done that, you're in trouble. You're going to end up with no starty.
Yeah.
Okay. So make sure that little green light's on there, not the orange one there. So if you did need to, I can't see a need to, but if you're really desperate, but you'd have to be really desperate to start,
really
and then you don't want to go home.
Yeah.
Right. So make sure it's on leisure battery. That light is operating there. That there is to simulate the bollard that you connect your 240 in.
Yeah.
Okay, which is just in your battery box there.
Yeah.
So always connect to your battery box first, then fully unravel your cable, then to the bollard. Obviously the other way around, you could end up with a live cable going across wet grass.
Yeah.
Not going to be good. Okay, and then also what's indicated on this little vehicle here, if I switch the awning light on, that's an indicator to tell me that light outside there now is on.
Right.
Otherwise you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people by the time you got all the blinds down, that could be blaring all night and annoying people. Which you see a lot of people do that. Okay, right.
Yeah.
So view level, as I said, that will show all the different levels. And cabin light, that's a one switch to switch all the lights on or off. From one point, you have got individual light switches anyway, but that will switch. Say you're on the way out, and you've left the light on, or the kids left the light on in the back. Just press cabin lights. That shut them all down as you go out.
Yeah.
Okay, happy with that bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the water pump one?
Water pump, yeah, that's the next one we're going to come to.
Oh, right.
Right.
So
that's one. You don't press that when you first come into your van. First, obviously, you make sure you got a full tank.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you where that tank is in a minute. Also, you need to make sure the drain down's closed and all the taps are closed before you switch that on. If you go and switch that on, as soon as you jump in, you see where that tap is there, that moves. If you've left it all down to drain, which you leave the taps open to drain, and you've left that open, you go and go boom, you end up with water going cascading everywhere. Okay, so don't switch it on straight away.
Yeah.
So the next thing we come to, if you want to just sneak up that way a bit. Right, under here, this is where your freshwater tank is. So there's your freshwater tank sitting there.
Right.
That is your boiler.
Okay.
So the drain down for your boiler, you can see down here, there's a little yellow lever switch, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that.
So it's flat, that means it's closed, so that allows water to run around the system.
Yeah.
If it's pointed upwards, that's drain down, so it'll go down onto the ground underneath the van.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Also, obviously before you start filling your fresh water tank, I don't think we'll be able to see that bit through here, it turns out. Right down there, I can't really see, I wish I got my torch with me. Right down there, it's roughly below the position of that, there's a drain plug. Can you see? There's see the chain?
The orange bit.
Yeah, so it's a bit like a bath plug. So it just obviously much more sophisticated than that. So to drain that down, obviously you need to pull that out.
Yeah.
So probably when you're travelling, that's probably better empty.
Yeah.
It all depends on your payload. If you obviously got this full, that's quite a considerable amount of weight you're carrying.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, obviously you got to remember when you come to fill it, if you don't put that plug in, the likelihood is you're just going to be getting your feet wet because you'll be sitting out there or standing out there with the water pouring out the bottom.
Yeah.
So obviously before you fill that, make sure you do put the drain plug in.
Is that the bit that's filled from the tap?
Yeah, that's
the bit that's outside.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. So there's the pipe in. It's just the other side of that door.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. So that fills that. To fill that tank, I'm going to show you in a second.
Okay.
Then what you've also got, that's your onboard pump. So that takes the water from here into your boiler or into your taps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So we've checked all that. We've checked all the taps. Made sure they're all closed. Then we can switch water pump on. I have primed this already to check it. So water pump on. It's actually showing me what the levels of the water are now. So obviously I want to know that. If it's empty, obviously I'm not going to get any water coming through. So what I always do is start on the cold side. Get the air out the system. Okay, you'll get a bit of spluttering to start with if you've drained everything down already.
Yeah.
So once you've got a solid stream on the cold side, across to the hot side, that will then obviously get the air out the hot side and it will fill your hot water tank. So if the hot water tank was drained previously, that's 10 litres container, 10 litres of air is going to come out of there.
Yeah.
So you just open it up, you'll get a lot of spluttering for a couple of minutes at least. Once you've got a solid stream like that, then you know your hot water tank's full. But it'll just keep spluttering and spluttering until you get all the air out.
Yeah.
If you don't get all the air out, if you can just hear the pump running now, the pump will continue to run if you haven't got all the air out. So do the same with all the taps to make sure you've got all the air out, otherwise that will pump, especially in the middle of the night. If someone's got up and washed their hands or whatever, and then all you can hear is noise, and it's quite annoying in the middle of the night. Okay?
Yep.
Happy with that bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the next thing we want to do is heat the water. Okay, or hopefully, unless you like cold water. Cold showers in the morning. Right, so the options we have got is electric and gas, as I said, outside. So what we've got down here is a control for the electric. Up here is a control for the gas. Okay, what we've also got is underneath there, put that back in there. I'll just pull this out of the way, just so you can see the consumer unit. Right, consumer unit, water heater, space heater, which is the fire. So water heater, that is the important one. If you leave that switched on, and that switch is switched on also, and you have drained that boiler, you're going to be in trouble because it's like boiling a kettle with no water on. As soon as you plug 240 in, that will be live and it will start heating your boiler. So make sure you switch that off before you leave. Make sure when you, obviously if you do drain the boiler, then you know it's safe.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll just switch that off now so I don't forget. We'll come back to that again in a minute. So we can then operate on electric if you want to, which is this one down here. There's two options. Centre of the rocker switch is off, so you've got options of electric. It says 213, which seems a bit strange. Right, so you've roughly got 850 watts and about 1300 watts.
Right.
So 850 is the top one, 1300 watts is the lower one. So that will heat your boiler up quite nicely. So it will give you a decent amount of hot water. If you want to boost it, or you haven't got electric available, you can use a gas as well alongside electric. So say you wanted to use a shower on board, you're limited to 10 litres of water, but it will increase the temperature, so when you use a mixer tap, cold and hot together, obviously it will last a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's electric down there. Gas, which is quite handy, failed for me. Right, so you see the red light there? That means the gas has failed to light. There may be a few reasons for that. One, I haven't got any gas, I've run out. Two, I haven't turned the gas on in the first place. Three, that cover out there, I've left that off. Or there's a bit of air in the system, which that's maybe why it's failing now. So if it's done that, switch it off, check all them things, make sure we've got gas. You could fire up the cooker, then you know you've got gas available. Give it about a minute or so and then switch it back on again. So if it is air in the system, it'll take a couple of attempts to light it. Okay, and then it will reasonably quickly it'll show you that it's failed anyway. So red light comes on, it's failed. The options on that one, the settings we've got, centre is off, rocker switch up 50 degrees or 70 degrees down.
Right.
Okay, so you've got a temperature range on there. On the electric side, it is 70 degrees. That's it.
Yeah.
But that one, obviously, you can see you can do a 50-degree option if you wanted to. Okay,
Yep.
happy with that? Good. I'll leave it switched on now because I just want to make sure it doesn't fail. Right? Because you never know. Because obviously George brought it around rather quickly, and I hadn't quite finished all the checks before he turned up. I just wanted to make sure that was that's going to stay fine. We'll leave that running, and then if it fails, I'll see.
So it doesn't have a green light to say it's on. It's
No,
just,
it just
light.
shows. Yeah, it's just red light failure.
Right.
Okay, as you can see there, obviously TV bracket,
Yeah.
TV point. You've got electric, 240 and 12 volt there. So if you've got 12 volt TV, you can operate that as well. And I'm just thinking if there's an external aerial point in the battery box. I never noticed. So that would be your onboard aerial. Normally that's an external aerial point. You know, it says sat on it.
Yeah. I think I have seen one of them. I think it's
It may be in the battery box. It may be in the battery box. I never noticed when I plugged the electric in. So I wasn't expecting it on this spec, but obviously it may have. Okay, happy with that bit. So water treating we've done, water we've got the system up and running. We might want obviously knowing how good the summer is in this country, we may want to use the fire. Right, so if you have a look on the consumer unit again, next to the water heating there's space heater. Okay, so that's switched on, that's the isolator switch there. You can leave that one, it's not going to damage it. Water heating will, space heater won't. Because as soon as you unplug or plug in, it's either heating or it's not heating.
Yeah.
Over there is the control for the heater on electric. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that from here.
Yeah.
So if you can see the outer ring turns, there's a setting 0, if you can see that. So if you turn the outer ring now, so if the green light goes off, that's switched off. So you got options of 500 watts, 1000 watts or 2000 watts. Obviously 2000 watts being the highest energy. The centre ring also turns, that's your thermostat. So whichever number's against the green light, so if it's 9 against the green light, that's the hottest. 1 is the other one. Okay.
Yeah.
So if green light is not on, as you can see now, so that is actually switched on, but I haven't switched the master switch on. So if there's no green light on in there, come and check here. It's either you've got no electric, or you haven't switched that master switch on there. Okay. So what that is doing is heating an element inside your fire. Okay. So have a look at your fire now. So this is an electric or gas heater also. So they're particularly designed to be a gas heater, which is a secondary electric heater in it. But most people run it on electric. Usually gives enough heat off on 2 kilowatts. But gas obviously is a better energy. So if you're in a really cold, obviously what we've had recently, fire up on gas first, get the fan warmed up first on gas, then you could switch it across to electric. Because once it's up and the fabric of the van's warm, then the electric will keep it warm quite easy unless someone keeps leaving the door wide open. Okay. So if you just want to switch it off on electric, so you can't run it on both. So the water heater you can. So just that outer ring, there's like a 0 in the centre. That's it. Okay. So this is the gas side of it. So you got 1 to 5. That's the energy set. So I don't know if you can. I'll just switch the fan off. Can you hear the ticking?
Yeah.
Right. That's the auto igniter waiting for the gas. All you do is you press the button. That's it, ticking stopped. If I took my finger off and it started ticking again, it hasn't stayed lit, you need to just press and hold it. So you should be able to see the flame down there, So that will chuck out a reasonable amount of heat there on the gas. Well, you've got this side, I'll just shut that off now, save your gas. Right, this side is your fan. Okay, so the fan operates, it's independent, it's run on 12 volts, it will run on the electric side of it, or it'll run on the gas side of it, or on its own. Okay, so what you've got is auto, so that's thermostatically controlled, set your speed where you want it and it'll go up and down with the heat. Okay, manual, you just turn that to whatever speed you want it to set at, 1 to 5, then boost, so it'll be flat out, so it'll blast as much air out as it can. You cannot obviously operate that with no heat at all, so in the summer you can have it just circulating the air, obviously won't cool it down, but it'll circulate the air for you. Okay, so always have some kind of fan running when you've got the heating running, because you've got vents. So you can see one there, should be 1 or 2 behind you somewhere. And there'll be one in the bathroom and probably one at the back here somewhere, if I can see. Can't see from this angle. So it would be one around here somewhere, I would have thought, but I can't see at the moment. So if you can see also, there's a little flap on it. So if you want to direct heat more to one end than the other, You can close the one down, it'll push air more warm air out the other end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it should be the same in the bathroom. The bathroom, they always get nice and toasty, as you can imagine. So you could either just close that flap or just close it.
Yeah.
You know, like part of the way. Okay.
Yeah.
Happy with the heater? Yeah. Not too bad. Hopefully.
Ask me again tomorrow.
You stopping them on site tonight?
Yeah,
Oh, you'll be fine. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not in tomorrow. But yeah. There is someone here anyway. So if you're having any trouble, any problems, there's an engineer as well here that 7 days a week. If you're up on site or not on our site, elsewhere, there's a phone call. I can't do this, or this is not happening. I've forgotten how to do this. There's always somebody here you can talk to. Okay.
Yeah. Lovely.
We'll just go back to the consumer unit again. Right. So we've gone for the space heater, water heater. So the charger's the next one, the green button.
Yeah.
That's the charger unit there. That will charge your battery. So it's when it's switched between whichever one. So a leisure battery, it will go and charge the leisure battery. If it's not switched on, obviously it won't. Obviously it'll only charge when you've got 240 connected as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one along is just an indicator light. So it says reverse polarity. If you go on the continent, they wire things different than what we do. You plug your electrics in, you have a look at that. And that, if that's lit, you will need an adapter to operate off of their electrics. Okay. Also, what we've got on the far side, the little black button called system shutdown button. So what that will do is help stop the drain down on your battery when it's in storage. Obviously, it won't stop it completely, but it will slow it down.
Yeah.
Because there's always some 12-volt systems in the background that may be operating that can obviously drain it down.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you've got your 12-volt fuses on that side in the window. Does give an info note there, which is on the opposite side to which one it is. So 12-volt fuses is that one there.
Yeah.
240 trips, same as your domestic there.
Yeah.
And obviously a test switch on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Happy with that bit?
The charging, does it charge while you're driving off the engine or anything?
Yes.
Like?
Yeah, it does that also. Yeah.
And does
So
that
yeah, that's
button
just 240 on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's an automatic feature from the engine. You don't have to switch.
So
you don't have to switch. You
anything.
don't need to switch any. That's
Right.
That's only when it's connected to electric.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Easy as that. Right. So we've done the heating, water heating. Obviously the other appliances we've got cooker. It shouldn't be, I wouldn't have thought, too complicated. As in we've got a igniter switch there. Just press and hold.
Yeah.
Obviously the only thing you've got to be aware of, obviously glass and heat don't mix too well. We've got a combined oven and grill. So obviously you can only use one or the other when you're using it. So one side is oven. You can see that lid.
Yep.
And then the other side is your grill. Okay. Easy as that. Grill pan, the handle's just sitting inside there. What I would suggest is taking that out when you're travelling.
Yeah,
or
that,
anything that rattles, it will really annoy you. Unless you've got earplugs in. Or you just play the music very loud. But things like that, people do either wrap them in bubble wrap or tea towels or anything like that, especially on here that can, things like that rattle.
When we test drove it, it was all
Yeah,
rattling.
it was
George was rattling.
I know, yeah. But you'll soon find out where the bit,
Yeah,
where
which bit.
yeah, how to store things as well, and what's going to rattle and what isn't. Because you will hear it and it'll constantly be in your brain. Right, next one is your fridge. And I'll sit down. It's easier to show you. On off button is that one there. You see that? So you just press and hold and switch that on or off. I've selected gas at the moment, so it's operating on gas. If I press that button, operate on electric. Most people tend to run it on electric. Again, it is a gas appliance with a secondary electric, but electric is sufficient. Unless it's a really hot day, then gas actually is better on a hot day, because it has to get it hotter and get it colder. 12 volts, so that is actually running from the vehicle. So you select that one there. When you're travelling, it will keep the temperature at a constant.
Yeah.
It won't cool the fridge down.
Yeah.
It'll just maintain it. So you need to cool it down if you can before you travel.
Yeah.
Then just before you travel, select that, and then that will, as soon as you start the engine, it will provide power to it. So it's acting a bit like a cooler box then to maintain the temperature, unless someone keeps opening and shutting the door.
Yeah.
Okay, at the moment that's showing failure. The reason for that is obviously because the engine's not running.
Yeah.
If it's doing that on the gas, that means the gas has failed to light on the fridge.
Yeah.
Okay, so all you need to do on that, again, make sure you've turned your gas on, make sure you've got gas, then all you do is just press that. So it may just have a bit of air in the system, it just needs to purge the air out. So it may take a couple of attempts if you haven't used it on gas for a while. Okay, but most people tend to use it on electric. Obviously you've got electric available. This side of it, that's your temperature range. So all 5 lit, that's the coldest setting. So depending where you are, this country 2 or 3 is probably right. Depending how hot it is outside, how hard it needs to work.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, bathroom next. Right, so what you've got is a a swivel toilet. So I don't think it's falling off. They are craftily designed to fit into the smallest of spaces you can imagine. Most caravans have them now. Electric flush. Okay. Oh, I forgot. Bugger. I felt like that. Yeah, so don't do that. Don't worry about the setting. Right. So that was a bad mistake. Never done that before, to be quite honest. Obviously, there's always a first time. So down here, you see this lever here?
Yeah.
That operates the wastegate, which is actually on the cassette.
Okay, so that's
Okay, so if that is not closed,
that's when you're on about it won't come out.
it won't come out. So to use it, obviously make sure there's a cassette in it. Open it, use it, flush it, shut it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't smell.
Also, obviously, if you're wandering off to go and empty it, just make sure whoever's left here is aware of, and don't start using it. Because as I'm going to find out, at least it's only water that I've just flushed down there. Other presents, obviously, not so welcome. Okay, and then this only flushes when you've got the water pump switched on as well.
Right.
So that's actually taking water from your onboard tank.
Yeah.
What you've also got there, that will light up if the waste tank's full.
Yeah.
Indicator will light up. Okay, normally you can tell by just looking down the hole anyway. But
Yeah.
when that light comes on, then you have to go and empty it. Well, it's either that or you don't use it. Right. You can see here, obviously what we've been doing recently, because of the weather, is making sure things like this are off, so it allows drain down.
Yeah.
So make sure you do that for winter. Everything needs to be drained down. That is best way of taking it off, or best way of draining it is to take it off.
Yeah.
Then open all the taps to centre. I'm going to just screw that back in. Open all the taps to centre, then that drain down, which is the yellow lever, open that up. What I tend to do, I've got a caravan, which is the same principle. I tend to do that when I get to the gate of the site as I'm leaving, not obviously on the pitch, because obviously the next person's not going to be happy with the flooded pitch. Get to the gate, normally on some of these sites you're taking a key back or a card back or whatever, so when one person's doing that, the other one can jump in, open that up, open all the taps, and as you're driving down the road, that bit of movement helps to drain them.
Yeah.
Drain it down, especially if it's the last one in the season. If it depends on that. If you're going to go away camping in the colder weathers, you never know. Honestly, I was away in that the Beast for These 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in my caravan on that one. Inside, perfectly warm.
Yeah.
Outside was getting a bit icy,
Freezing.
and it was snow coming horizontal and all sorts of things. That's the most extreme I've ever been. It's like, but at least you've got onboard tanks and things like. Obviously, that tank's not going to freeze.
No.
What may freeze is your waste tank.
Yeah.
Obviously, because that's outside.
Yeah.
But you should still have water. It's just you've got to be careful on the waste tank.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So as talking about the chemicals, George has nicely put there. So all you need is the blue chemical. The pink chemical is for the flush system, but obviously your flush system, or if it was a separate flush system, I should say, your flush system is from your water tank. So you're not going to be putting chemical in that.
No.
It's going to taste rather funny.
Yeah.
So all you need is the blue chemical. You may be able to take it back to the shop and say, well, can we have another blue instead of the pink? So, or you might just swap and just say, can we have a double blue? Or see George. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else to show you? So apart from bed makeup, which you may want to know, on this side.
This one we never worked out, wasn't it?
Well, I looked at a picture on the internet and we just,
I've got to say that is fairly.
Yeah.
This one requires a few movements of cushions and stuff.
Yeah, I did find a picture, so I think.
Yeah.
we'd
So
work
what
it
you've
out.
got, so obviously table goes down onto that
Stops
onto
that
there.
bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously these cushions stay where they are.
Yeah.
As the seat, the back rests come out. As you can see, there's a lovely little cutout, right? So if you went to put that there and went, so what they cleverly do, instead of having a full cushion,
That's what that was.
Yeah.
We couldn't work out what that was for.
well, you should see on some of them it's a triangle wedge shape. It's like, what's that? But so that will sit.
Underneath those bits.
Then that one lifts up and slides across to here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Backrest.
Drop down.
And what you've also got is another one, which is that one which fits across that gap.
Yeah.
So that should be the same length as that. So there will be a gap here, which the
That
backrest
goes in.
doesn't quite reach.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what this one's here for.
The one that goes over the top of the table bit. Or is
Because the only thing I can think of normally is. Yeah, I'm not sure what that one is. That's an extra cushion.
I think that's why we couldn't work it out
Yeah,
when we came.
this one confuses me at the moment because that
Yeah.
should all fill. Seats and backrest should fill that. The only thing I can think of is at some stage you may have had a plank or a piece of wood going across there, and that sat So like a U shape instead of the table. Is that going to fit there? It's not that big. No, I'm not sure what that one is.